I don't know where it would be. Um,
Is it,
Look on the shelf. It should have been in my stack.
okay.
So it's possible I gave it back, but I don't think so. I think I had notes on everything. Okay, Shannon, put us on the record. This is a matter of Fitzgerald versus Gutwein. Uh, Looks like Tori Fitzgerald is present. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and sir, what is your name?
Orange good wine.
Okay, so your case is scheduled for a trial. Unfortunately, for some reason, I don't have the file. I just sent my law clerk after it. As long as we're waiting on the file, this is a custody case. Normally, these only get scheduled for trial if the two of you are in disagreement on the terms of a temporary order. Can I guess that that's the case?
Yes.
I didn't think it was. I thought we were agreed what we had going on now. From as far as I understood, everything that we were doing right now was agreed upon. I didn't know we were going to a trial until just now.
We're agreed on what we've been doing outside of what the temporary order is.
I got you. And what has, well, give me just a second.
Mhm.
So you're telling me you haven't been following the temporary order?
No.
Unfortunately,
Okay. And Mr. Gutwein, you would like the proper order to be in place as a final order to match what's in the temporary order?
yeah.
Okay, so,
As long as we can both agree on it, we don't want any type of animosity between each other. We've been doing just fine with co-parenting and working things out together. But
okay, well, hold on a minute. Let me, I was able to get the file back. So the temporary order gives mom physical custody and gives dad basically an alternating weekend schedule. And you're telling me, ma'am, that's not what you've been following?
No.
What have you been following?
Larry comes to see Daxton a couple times a week, and we haven't been doing overnights due to I don't trust him fully with Daxton overnight yet.
there has been absolutely no reason why that I can't have overnights. There's no reason why you can't be at my house. I'm only allowed over there when her other son's not there because her other father of her son doesn't think I'm fit to be around the child, which makes absolutely no sense because I raised the kid.
Okay, all right, fair enough. I'm gonna take some testimony and I will decide going forward what the parenting time will be. We'll start with Ms. Fitzgerald since she is the plaintiff. Ms. Fitzgerald, would you raise your right hand, please?
Yeah.
You do swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
State your full name for the record.
Tori Marie Fitzgerald.
Ms. Fitzgerald, you share one child with Mr. Gutwein, is that correct?
Yes.
Daxton,
Yep.
born January 5th of 2016.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm assuming there was a period of time when you and Mr. Gutwein resided together, is that true?
Yes.
And when did the two of you separate?
Last November.
November of 2019. And were you together from at least the time that Daxton was born until November of 2019?
Yes.
Okay. And during the period that you were together, how did you share child care responsibilities?
I mean, we lived together, so all of our bills were split. So we shared
Right,
it.
but I mean, did you share I'm not talking about child support, I'm talking about actual care of the child, feeding, bathing,
Oh, yes.
etc. Did you share those responsibilities equally?
Yeah.
Okay, and then at some point, one of you moved. Which one of you moved?
I got put in jail. And
Okay, so Mr. Gutwein, right now I want to hear from her. Can you confirm, ma'am, that you separated when Mr. Gutwein was jailed?
Yes.
And how long, do you remember what he was put in jail for?
Yes. 2 possession of methamphetamines and a CCW charge. It was a bond violation that he went back in for.
I see. So those charges he was on probation for?
He is now on probation for.
Okay, but was he on probation for some other charges when he had
He
those
was
charges?
he was on bond for those charges. He was bonded
I
out of
got you.
jail. Yeah.
All right, and he has since served out his time?
He just got sentenced this week. So he's now on probation for those charges.
I got you. How long did he remain in jail?
5 months. He was released in March.
March of this year?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, where are you living currently?
My mom's.
And how long have you been living there?
Since November.
Who else lives in that home?
Just myself, my mom, and my 2 children.
What's the other child's name?
Colton, Frederick,
How old is Colton?
8.
Was Colton living with you when you and Mr. Gutwein were living together?
Yes, he was alternating between my house and his dad's.
Equal time at each, or?
Yes.
Okay. So Colton got to know Lawrence.
Yes.
How did the two of them get along?
Fine.
Do you have any immediate plans of moving?
No.
Where do your 2 children sleep when they're both there?
Colton has a room and Daxton won't sleep in his own bed, so he sleeps with me.
He does have his own bed, though?
Yeah.
He just likes to sleep with mom.
Yeah, he has never slept in his own bed.
Is he afraid to sleep alone?
He doesn't sleep, so the only way I can get him to sleep is to sleep with me. You can move
I
him into his
gotcha.
own bed, but he'll make his way back throughout the night.
So he's a light sleeper?
Yes.
Was that true even when you and Mr. Gutwein were together?
Yes, sir.
So this temporary order has been in place trying to find the date, since May, but your testimony is that Daxton has not spent the night at his father's.
Correct.
That's because you are fearful whether or not he will be safe?
Not only that, I feel that Larry hasn't proved himself as far as being sober because he's missed drops when previous to the probation. I also don't feel safe with him being in his mom's house because of not that I don't feel safe. I just don't think that where is Daxton going to sleep? And I'm afraid that if Larry wants to leave throughout the night or something, that Dax is going to be left there with his mom or his sister or something like that.
So do you know Mr. Gutwein's mother?
I do.
Do you have concerns with her caring for Daxton when Daxton is at that home?
I don't, but he's not there to be watched by her. He's there to hang out with his dad.
All right, that wasn't the point I was getting at. I just wanted to make sure you didn't have concerns about her being inappropriate with the child. So
I
you
don't
do
have
not
concerns
have some. Go ahead.
I don't have concerns about her. I do have concerns about his little sister, who I don't feel comfortable with her watching him alone.
And how old is the little sister?
16.
You don't believe she's responsible enough to watch a young child?
She is not mentally stable herself.
During the time when Mr. Gutwein was in jail, did his mother spend any time with Daxton?
She did take both boys once or twice to McDonald's to play and then dropped them back off to me.
Has she seen Daxton more often than that, or did she only see him twice during that time?
She saw him with me during holidays and such like that, yes. But she didn't take him overnight or anything like that.
All right, I'm just trying to get a sense of how, to what extent Daxton has a relationship with his grandmother. He recognizes her as grandmother.
Yes.
He enjoys seeing her.
Yes.
Okay. Are you currently employed, ma'am?
Yes.
Where do you work?
Henry Ford Legion's Health.
And how long have you worked there?
It'll be 6 years in October.
What's the nature of your work there?
I'm a clinical tech.
Is that a full-time position?
Yes.
Do you have standard hours?
7 to 7:30 p.m. 3 days a week.
And Who watches Daxton when you're working?
He goes to a daycare. And then my mom picks him up at 5:30 when they close.
Does your mother work?
No,
And when you have your other son, Colton, does he also go to the daycare when you're working?
it depends. Once in a while, sometimes he'll just stay at his dad's.
Does Daxton have any special needs?
No,
Uh, did he go to preschool this past year?
he will be starting this year.
Okay. Where do you plan on sending him?
He's going to go to Little Panthers.
Has your income changed at all since the temporary order was entered?
No,
And at the time of the temporary order, uh, guessing that Mr. Gutwein wasn't working, perhaps because he was still in jail?
he was out in May. He was out in March. He's been applying to jobs, but because of COVID, he hasn't found one yet.
So it looks like they imputed him, which is pretty standard, but the child support order is for 0. I'm trying to understand why.
Because I agreed to that. I wanted him to be able to get on his feet without having to worry about paying for that.
All right, and you would like that part to continue?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. That answers that question then. How strong is the bond between Daxton and Mr. Gutwein?
Strong.
Other than your concerns for his sobriety, do you have any other concerns about Mr. Gutwein's ability to take care of Daxton?
Not to take care of. My only other concern would be I just don't feel comfortable with him driving with Daxton because he has a suspended license. So I don't want Daxton to be in a vehicle where he's driving and then potentially could be pulled over. That's my only other concern. He's a great dad. He takes care of Daxton. He plays with Daxton when he's with him. That's not a concern at all.
Do you have any concerns about Mr. Gutwine's ability to provide for Daxton's needs, food, clothing, medical care if he needs it, and any other material needs?
No.
Do you have any mental or physical health needs?
No.
Do you know if Mr. Gutwine does?
He does not.
So Daxton's a little over 4.5.
Yep.
Are you supportive of a close and continuing bond and relationship between Daxton and his father?
Yes.
Has there ever been any domestic violence in your relationship with Mr. Gutwine?
No.
Mr. Gutwine, are there any questions I didn't ask that you would like me to ask Ms. Fitzgerald?
Not at all.
Okay, let me hear from you then, sir. Would you raise your right hand, please? You do swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
State your full name for the record.
Lawrence Christian Gutwine.
You can put your hand down now, sir. Is it true that you have a suspended driver's license?
Yes.
It appears that you're sitting in a vehicle right now. Looks like a pickup truck, if I can. Whose vehicle is that?
My buddy's, he's in the gas station right now. I had to move the truck out of the way because there's cars in the gas station. So now I'm just sitting in it.
And you know you're not supposed to drive if you have a suspended license, correct?
Yeah.
So tell me where you're living now.
My mother's house,
What's the address?
312 Evelyn Street.
Who else lives at that house?
My mother, my little brother, and his girlfriend, and my sister.
Ms. Fitzgerald mentioned that your sister has some mental health issues. Can you confirm that?
She's both my siblings are forgot the name of it. But they're kind of slow. They're kind of slow, but she doesn't. I wouldn't say she has mental health issues. She's a 16-year-old girl that's got emotional depression problems. I mean, yeah, she's takes it and she does things that probably aren't the best way to handle them, but she's not. I don't think she's never been any violent. She's never been any harmful. She's never acted any type of way around my son where my son loves my sister. He loves her to death. So there's none of that.
I think Ms. Ms. Fitzgerald's concern was that she might not be a responsible person to watch her in the event you had to go somewhere. Would you agree with that?
Me and her have had my sister watch my son numerous times. So I don't know where that's coming from at all.
For how long, while you were together, you mean?
Yes.
For how long a period of time would you leave Daxton with your sister?
I mean, we've gone out and went out with friends one night, and my son stayed the night at my mom's house, and my sister was the main person watching him. Where we'd have my sister come to my house and stay the night and watch my son when we were going somewhere or something. That's happened a few times. But my sister does. If my son's at my home, my sister's not. I don't have my family watch him, and he's with me. I don't pawn my kid off at all.
Would you agree that you have a strong bond with your son? And that he has a strong bond with his mother?
Yes, definitely does.
Do you have any concerns about Ms. Gutwein, I'm sorry, I keep doing that, Ms. Fitzgerald's care of your son?
None.
You believe she's a good mom?
Great mom.
Do you have any concerns about her ability to provide Daxton with his basic needs?
None.
Do you have any concerns about the household that Daxton is in now?
No.
So you're currently on probation, that's correct?
Yes.
And was Ms. Fitzgerald correct about the charges on which you were sentenced?
I was sentenced on one possession, one CCW. It wasn't two possessions.
So the only conviction was for the carrying a concealed weapon?
And one possession of meth, not two of them.
Okay. Are you required to drug test as a term of your probation?
Okay.
Is that, I didn't hear you, sorry. Is that a yes?
Yes.
Have you failed any drug tests?
No.
Who's your probation agent?
Samantha Oliver.
Last name Oliver, did you say?
Yeah.
And I missed the first name.
Samantha.
Samantha, thank you. Are you currently employed?
Not at the moment. I've just been working with a buddy doing concrete and side jobs. So I have income, but not complete full-time income.
Are you looking for a job, or is this sufficient for your needs currently?
No, I'm looking for a full-time job.
Do you have any concerns about Ms. Fitzgerald's moral fitness as a parent?
No.
Any concerns with her mental or physical health?
No.
Are you supportive of Daxton having a strong relationship with his mother?
Yes.
Do you agree there's been no domestic violence in the relationship?
None.
Is there anything else you think I should take into account in deciding what should be an appropriate final custody order?
No. No.
Ms. Fitzgerald, are there any other questions you would like me to ask Mr. Gutwein?
No.
All right, folks, here's what I'm going to do. I do want to take some time to talk to Samantha Oliver as I'm able to get a hold of her. And then once I've heard from her, I will issue a written decision and you'll both get a copy of it. Either of you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Oh,
All right, I want to give you both a little pep talk, okay? Regardless of what I end up issuing. It does appear that the two of you seem to have a good rapport with each other, even though you're not in total agreement on what order should enter. What I would like to encourage you, you're going to be co-parenting for a long time, regardless of what specific parenting time arrangement is in place. I hope you guys can continue to maintain a civil relationship between each other. Daxton will definitely benefit from that. If you allow Daxton to play the two of you against each other over time, he will do that. If he thinks he can gain an advantage in either home by enlisting the help of the other parent in undermining the other parent, most kids will end up doing that. It's just natural. They do it when the parents are in the same household, but they do it even more when parents are in separate households. It's important as much as you can that you put aside personal differences and as best you can, try to be on the same page where you're caring for your son. He will really benefit from that. If you disagree with something that's happening in the other parent's home in terms of privileges or discipline or whatever it might be, don't get Daxton in the middle of that. Speak to each other privately. Try to figure it out as best you can. Try to keep the rules the same in both homes. Your son will really benefit from that. So there's no extra charge for that, but I hope you take to heart what I've said and can learn to work together for Daxton's benefit. I wish you both well. I'll try to get something out to you as soon as I'm able to talk to Ms. Oliver.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day, folks.
You too.